So Coach Campbell's talked a lot about how much it means to bring former, alumni back. What does that mean to you guys?
It's really cool to be able to come back. I don't get a chance to come back here during the season, broadcasting games down in the South. So to be able to come back and be around the team and the energy that Coach Campbell is influxed into this building, into the program is phenomenal. You can feel it anywhere. If you're an Iowa State fan, you can feel it. And as a former player, it makes you proud to know that it's arcing up. It's amazing to come back and see the facilities here. This obviously wasn't here when I was here, so it's really cool to see. It's a big time operation. I get a chance to go to a lot of places around the country broadcasting games, and this takes a backseat to nobody.
Is this your first chance to meet Coach Campbell in person?
First time I've met him in person, talked to him on the phone a few times. He reached out to me personally and asked me to come up, and that was a tremendous honor for him to come reach out to me.
What were your first impressions of him in person?
He is the energy just exudes out of him, and I think that he has a very clear idea what he wants to do, which I think is important. Having played a lot of football, it's pretty cool to be around a guy that has a very clear vision of what he wants to do. I was impressed. We just got a chance to listen to him talk to the seniors and introduce the seniors. His knowledge of their background, even though a lot of those kids, most of those kids, he didn't recruit to know what their majors were, where they're from, what their stories were from an injury standpoint. That tells me he's completely invested in what he's doing and means something to him.
When you look at the facilities and how much have changed around here, do you ever wonder what could have been if you had all these resources?
Well, the game's changed. Nowadays, the way they work out, the way they get prepared for the season, it's all different now, and that's part of the growing process. It's part of learning how to get ready to play. And in the early '80s, mid '80s, you just came out and you lined up. I think we drank a bunch of beers and we went and played football. So nowadays it's different now. The regimented workouts, the eating and what they put in their systems and all that kind of stuff is tailored to each player now. It used to be, backs, receivers, quarterbacks, you guys go lift. Now each guy's got his own specific tailored workout to meet his biometrics and all that, and that's why you see the elite play. And I think that's that's what makes you a better player.
You're with the Falcons, right?
I am.
With the Falcons. What's that experience like, calling games for an NFL team and then obviously getting to the Super Bowl last year?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a great ride last year. Coach Quinn, it's interesting because Coach Campbell has a very similar energy that Coach Quinn has in Atlanta. The brotherhood concept, the all for one for all scenario, it feels that way here, and that's the way it was in Atlanta this last year with Coach Quinn. He had to make the changeover, ironically enough, very similar timetable of Coach Campbell taking over here. Coach Quinn took over last year. You got to get guys to buy in. You got to get guys to understand what you're doing. Some aren't, but most do, because they realize the guy has their best interest at heart. And so to be able to do the Falcon games, I played there. So obviously I bleed black and red. So it was tough to the way it finished, but it was an unbelievable ride, and it's a team built to hopefully have some staying power.
Kyle Shanahan and Matt Campbell were both similar ages, and obviously Shanahan was an OC with Atlanta. But what does it really take to have a young head coach like that? What kind of qualities do you think that they kind of share?
Well, I think first of all they've got to understand who their kids are, and can you re-recruit the kids that are already here. And I think that's a big thing is there's kids that are already here that have invested or were probably recruited by someone else. And so how do you make those kids understand that you're still part of the program, you're still part of the future of the system, you're going to be guys we're going to count on. So you got to re-recruit those kids. You got to, even though they're on campus, you still got to tell them and let them know that they are Cyclones and that you're just hoping to use them in the best way they can. I think that has got to be the first thing. And then he's got to have untiring energy, which he seems to have. And it's really hard when you start talking about, it's a 12-month-a-year job now to coach football. It's not like back when I was playing, you did a little bit of recruiting, but you didn't do anything in the summertime. These off-season workouts were more towards the strength and conditioning guy. We did, 15 practices in spring. the coaches weren't around you as much. Nowadays, they maximize as much time as they can. I know they're limited from an NCAA rule standpoint, but they maximize those times. And I think that it's just the understanding of knowing it's a 12-month-a-year job, and do you have enough energy to do that? He certainly seems to be.